is Cicely with the South Sioux City Public Library, and I'm here with Brenda,
Hi.
also with the South Sioux City Public Library, and today we're going to make mock turtle soup. And we're going to make a vegan version of mock turtle soup because Brenda here is vegan and I have no desire to eat turtle. So we thought we'd put a spin on this old recipe that was at one point very popular and then kind of went out of circulation after a few years. So for our protein, we have vegan sausages. They're field roast sausages. We're also going to put some mushrooms in there. That's going to be the bulk of our meat texture. We have 8 cups of vegetable stock. We have 4 bay leaves. We have salt and all-purpose flour, 3 cups. And instead of butter, we're actually going to use olive oil. We have celery stalks, bell pepper. The recipe calls for green, but I don't like green. I like red, so we're going with red. Onion, garlic.
Yeah, show me garlic.
My handy dandy, never run out thing of garlic. Crushed tomatoes. The recipe calls for 18 ounces. I can only find 28, so we'll measure that out. We have liquid aminos instead of Worcestershire. Sweet paprika. Cayenne. The recipe calls for cayenne pepper, but today we're going to be using red pepper flake. Sherry, which is off camera. We've got some fresh parsley in the corner. 1 lemon. Oops. 1 lemon. Some black pepper. And lemon juice from the lemon. And instead of eggs, which the recipe calls for, we're actually going to just replace that with a potato. Alright, so we're going to get this all chopped up. And we'll meet you in the kitchen. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so welcome back. We are in the kitchen. And we're going to, before we even begin, we're just going to fry up those vegan sausages just to make sure they can keep their consistency. So we have a hot pan. I just poured in some olive oil. I'm going to coat the bottom of the pan. And we're just going to toss them in there. And I thought it was hotter than it is.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Take longer. Well, you can pick one out and show them the slice you made.
We can turn up the heat a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we sliced them up on the bias, I guess. Well, with me, it would be on the bias. This is just slanty. So, so we're going to take a few minutes and let that fry up, and we'll be right back. All right, so it looks like we're pretty good. Yeah, it's nice and brown, and this is just to kind of keep its overall texture in the soup. Because we know vegan meats tend to get a little bit mushier than what we want. So they're not all perfectly brown, but they're brown. They're brown to our
brown enough.
Yeah. If you want it browner, make it browner. That's up to you. We won't judge. My dad likes to brown things to the point where they're blackened. And so when we were kids, we're like, you burned it. Why did you burn it? He's like, I didn't burn it. It's Cajun style. I'm like, no, you just burned it. Okay.
Isn't that the trick, though, for Cajun style? You just think it's blackened.
Yeah, it's just blackened. Exactly.
Blackened.
Well, this is a Louisiana dish, so,
yeah,
maybe that's what we needed to do. But regardless,
okay.
Here we go. All right, so now
we're going to make the roux.
So I'm going to lower the heat a little bit back to medium before it was on medium high. And I'm actually going to leave all that good stuff in there.
Yeah. 8 tablespoons, it says, of unsalted butter.
We're using
oil. So do you want
to put some more? Well,
quite a bit, I guess. Well, we're using 1 cup of flour. So
that's good enough.
That looks fair.
Yeah. Ooh, it smells good. All right, so 1 cup of flour, right?
1 cup of flour.
Right. And I've never done a roux like this before with olive oil, so
stir it a lot.
So right here I have 3 cups of flour.
I got a 1/2 cup.
So that's good. actually, you know what? No, the other thing I was gonna do took 3 cups. This should be 1 cup. Okay, so here we go. You put that aside for me. And can you hand me my whisk?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Here's your whisk.
All right, so. There we go. I'm gonna switch hands. And I'm just gonna stir, stir, stir. Pick up all that lovely. I think we're ready. I think it's looking like we can start adding our vegetation.
Vegetables.
So
we're gonna add green pepper, celery.
Well, our red pepper or celery.
Red pepper, celery.
And
we're adding the potatoes too, so they get a chance to cook up, and also the onion. And we're gonna cook them around for 5 minutes.
Yum. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my whisk.
Okay.
There we go. So
give them a little.
Everything's kind of cooking up, and I'm coating it with the roux. You can kind of see it's sticking pretty well.
Yep, it smells really good.
Oh my gosh. See, I've never minded vegan cooking. I don't understand why people are really so hesitant to try something just because it's vegan. Especially if you think about like what we're actually making. Like, you know, clearly people are adventurous enough to eat turtle.
Yeah. So try some vegetables.
Yeah. So you know, non-meat options always seem to scare people a little bit, but it can actually be very good. It's usually lower in fat, not always.
Yeah, not always.
But it's usually a healthier option, and it's the ingredients are usually easier to come by too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they're pretty cheap.
And they're pretty cheap.
Celery, carrots, red pepper is what you put in there. Those are all pretty cheap items to buy. And it's just you use a lot of different spices and you make it taste good.
Yeah, and veggie broth instead of chicken broth. I mean, it's pretty easy to substitute and make replacements.
Yep.
So, but I think turtle soup is really an interesting just part of American dining and culture. It's because it started off in Louisiana or somewhere in the South, and it was just what was available at the time. But it became popular, I guess, in like the 1950s, and it's actually. Because I was looking this up, why on earth would people eat turtles in the first place? Why did it become so popular to the point where turtles, it was the snapping turtles, I think, but they're extinct.
The mock
the
turtles.
So people loved it so much.
Those are.
Yeah. Well, no, because it was just originally turtle soup.
Yeah.
It was originally turtle soup. It was snapping turtles. It was originally turtle soup, and then. I just remember reading that it was very popular in the 1950s. It was, part of the upper crust society. So, like, it was served in the White House and, those fancy dinners.
Parties.
Yeah. But then it became, like, so common that, like, companies like, I think it was Dole or Del Monte or something like that ended up canning turtle meat.
Wow.
And people would make it, for their families. So people really loved it, and they loved it to a point where after those poor turtles went extinct, they still ended up making, some version of turtle soup.
That's crazy because I have seen a snapping turtle and I have never looked at it and said,
wow, that's delicious.
Delicious. Like, it just looks like brown and kind of like scabby looking, they're big and mean, and like I don't want to eat that.
But I mean, they must have been because they were so popular. So I'm really curious about it, but I'm no longer that adventurous when it comes to food.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing next?
We need to add 4 garlic cloves minced. So I got a tablespoon or a teaspoon, which one do you prefer?
Let's just do a whole tablespoon.
A whole tablespoon?
I could
You
use
can probably
more.
do more than that.
I'm going to do a heaping tablespoon
I love
of garlic.
So
that's my heaping tablespoon of garlic.
And then we're going to cook it all for 1 more minute to get the garlic kind of
Mix that garlic in. Oh my God.
Oh, it smells really good.
Oh, wow. That's why
There
people
is a
loved
reason.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. People want to eat it. It smells good.
I think we're ready. I think
we're ready.
it's looking like we can start adding our vegetation.
Vegetables.
So
We're going to add green pepper, celery.
Well, our red pepper or celery.
Red pepper, celery.
And
we're adding the potatoes too, so they get a chance to cook up. And also the onion. And we're going to cook them around for 5 minutes. It says add the chopped meat.
Chopped meat. Yummy.
Probably are mushrooms at this time too.
Alright.
Mushrooms. And then we're going to add the stock. You already showed the vegetable stock, right?
Yes. So
It says 1 cup at a time. 8 cups, or you can just.
I'm just gonna.
Just gonna pour it in. Everybody.
I don't want to dirty up a dish if I don't have to. So 1 cup at a time, and what do I do?
Yeah, you need 8 cups of it.
Okay, well, that's...
And then you are mixing to combine until the soup has the consistency of a gravy.
So we have a very watery texture. That roux is adding some lovely coloring to it. I really like the way that looks. It's nice and hearty. And what do we do now?
Add in the tomatoes.
Okay. So I'm going to guesstimate the tomatoes.
It is 18-ounce crushed tomatoes.
So these are crushed tomatoes, and I'm just going to kind of, pour in what feels about
Most of it.
18 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're also going to add 3 tablespoons of the liquid aminos.
Okay.
Do you have the tablespoon over there?
Well, it's brand new, so now we gotta open it up. And if you don't have liquid aminos, you could always use soy sauce, or another
Kind of.
I don't know how I would.
Yeah,
how
usually
would
it's
describe
soy
it.
sauce or liquid aminos.
Yeah.
Oh, you need 3 tablespoons.
Oh.
Oopsie. Oops, sorry.
So that's 1.
I was looking at something else light. So.
That's 2. And I just like the flavor of liquid aminos, and they're good, full of amino acid, which is...
Liquid aminos are also good for, I think, gluten-free people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They don't have gluten in it, and I think soy
sauce does. You're right.
So yeah.
But it is expensive, so...
It is a little bit.
Oh.
We also have to add the cayenne pepper.
Okay, how much?
We want half a teaspoon of that. And then 1 tablespoon of the paprika.
Alright, so I can't get this off, and I'm not measuring out. So instead of the cayenne, we chose crushed red pepper, so I'm just going to kind of
Shake some in.
sprinkle it in there. I like
About
pepper, so tell me when, because I'll keep going. Alright.
Wherever you want to stop, I guess.
Alright.
I like spicy.
Good.
I'm a spice fiend.
Excellent.
And then you need the
Paprika?
sweet paprika.
How
and
much?
that is 1 tablespoon.
Oh, okay. Let's, I'm just going to wipe this off.
It's a lot of paprika.
It really is. This is a large serving. This is supposed to serve 8.
It's a big pot of soup she's got. Okay, and then we stir it up and add additional broth to thin the soup as needed, because we want a consistency that is thicker than water but thinner than gravy. we're gonna simmer it gently for 15 minutes until our vegetables are soft.
When were we supposed to add the bay leaves? That was probably in the beginning, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Oh, bay leaves, yeah, and
Oh.
salt.
Oops.
And what about the sherry? When do we add the sherry?
The sherry comes after we simmer.
Oh, okay. So, alright. Well, I'm just going to add the bay leaves. So the recipe calls for 4 bay leaves. So 1, 2,
And you could probably do this with salt.
3, 4. And of course you just leave them whole because you want to fish them out.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Don't want to eat a bay leaf.
No, you don't want to eat a bay leaf.
They're not decorative.
They're there for flavor.
Tablespoon of salt going in.
That's about
Plus more to taste.
Alright. And for taste.
Yes.
There you go.
And yeah, and we're stirring it up and then simmering gently for 15 minutes.
Alright. So stir, stir, stir. It's like a lovely,
Red.
yeah, it's like
Kinda.
almost a brick red
Yeah.
color from the tomato and the flour and the roux. So, alright, so I'm made sure all the salt and everything's in there. Those bay leaves are hiding in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So we are going to cover this and then we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay, so it looks like we're back. We've had a nice simmer going on, so we're gonna,
Our vegetables soft.
let's see. I don't want you to, oh, it's actually not that
No,
much.
it's not.
So, oh, look at that. Huh,
Ooh.
that looks really good.
It smells really good too.
Okay, so,
Alright, so
our mushrooms have kept their consistency. Let's see if we can find some of those sausages. I'm a big
Okay.
mushroom fan, so I put a lot of,
Oh, there goes one.
yeah, I put a lot of mushrooms in. So
Yeah.
our sausages have kept a nice firm consistency.
Good.
So that was the one thing we were afraid of. We were afraid it was going to
Yep.
get too mushy. All right, so what do we do now?
All right. We need to add a half cup of the dry sherry.
Oh, okay.
Surprise ingredient. Oh, you should show them the dry sherry.
Oh, dry sherry. Most people use wine if they don't have sherry, a nice white wine. Sherry is supposed to add a bit of a nutty, light flavor. Here, I'm gonna put that in that.
Okay. It's a half cup.
This is a half cup.
That's a
right? It's a
third.
third. Well,
All right.
Well-
We'll make it up. That was her lemon zest cup that comes a little later too. Oh, we're also gonna add our parsley.
okay.
Third cup fresh parsley. We've got
I'm just gonna
parsley.
pluck off a little bit of the parsley and rip it up.
Put them in there.
I find having a nice little herb garden makes more sense.
Oh, it's very pretty on top of that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Rather than buying herbs or dried herbs. It's always nice to have dried herbs,
Yeah.
but when you can have fresh, it's better. And you don't need as much in the recipes.
All right. And now we
Ooh, that smells
add
nice.
the lemon zest.
Okay.
Which you put in with the lemon.
I'm putting the lemon and the
Juice.
lemon zest
That's the zest of one lemon.
together. So I just put them together. And there we go.
And now we're gonna simmer for a minute or two,
Okay.
and then season with salt, black pepper, and our lemon juice, which is already in there. So.
All right.
All right, simmer for a minute or two.
So the soup, as it turns out, is like a nice, almost like gravy, like a really thin gravy texture. I don't know if you can see it from on the camera. like a nice thin gravy texture, but still very liquid. So it looks really good. It smells really good, and I'm going to portion some out for Brenda and myself, and we're going to taste it.
All the vegetables are cooked through, but they're kind of like a little bit crispy still. I like that.
Yeah, so it's like a nice hearty stew almost. It's like I think we
This
ended
would
up making a nice vegan vegetable stew.
Yeah, this would be really good with some like crusty bread.
Oh my gosh,
Or,
yes.
yeah, or if you put it like over some rice.
You can put it over rice if you like rice. I think you're exactly right. This would be great with like a nice like hard bread, and
Like
you
a
just kind of
baguette
dip
or
it in
something,
and
yeah.
eat it. Yeah.